Over the past couple of days, there have been two main questions on the WWE Universe's lips, and they are what's next for the Wyatt Six and who is the sixth member. So we're gonna go through them. Um, if you've been living under a rock or you just don't like wrestling, this happened. The return of the Wyatt Six. We all know who who the five members are. They have confirmed it over Instagram and social media as well. Uh, so we've got Abby the Witch, which is obviously Nikki Cross. We have Muzzy the Buzzard, who is Dexter Loomis. Rambling Rabbit, who is Eric Rowan. We have Huskus the Pig, which is Joe Gacy. And Uncle Howdy, which is obviously Taylor Rotunda. Um, so firstly, we're gonna go with who is the sixth member. There are quite a few answers to this, really. So who knows? um, the first and probably the most obvious choice is Alexa Bliss. Obviously, she has been working with Bray Wyatt for a good couple of years before he unfortunately passed. Um, so that is a clear and obvious choice. But the one I have heard recently and is more interesting is that Bray is the sixth member. Hear me out. On Monday, as you probably are aware, Uncle Howdy wore one glove out of the Hurt Hill gloves. He wore one glove and it said Bray across his knuckles. And then he had the lantern. So people are saying that the lantern is Bray, and obviously when the Fiend listened to his Hurt Hill gloves, maybe Uncle Howdy would listen to the Bray glove, and then Bray would be the voices that um Uncle Howdy listens to. I feel like that would be more interesting to see how that goes. Obviously my favorite choice is obviously Alexa Bliss, and then we can have Alexa Bliss maybe coming back as Lily, like a real life version of Lily. Remember her little puppet? Um, that would be interesting. Maybe Bliss comes back as her normal self. Um, yeah, and then the second one is what is next for the Wyatt Six. So this one is going to also be interesting because there's multiple um ways you can do this. Um, Firstly, we're going to talk about how they unalived Chad Gable. Um, he was the obvious face that we saw on Monday. There are a few talks about there being Gunther, Carmelo Hayes, Braun Strowman, Dominic Mysterio, um, all in the smoke and on the floor too. I personally don't think that was Braun Strowman, and I don't think Dom Mysterio was there. I am 50-50 about Gunther. And Carmelo Hayes, I don't think that was Carmelo Hayes either. But what would be interesting is um, they all have one thing in common is that they have turned on their family. Obviously, Dominic turned on Ray to join the Judgment Day. Carmelo Hayes turned on Trick Williams. Um, Gunther turned on the Imperium or Giovanni, and Strowman turned his back on the Wyatt Six. So, or the Wyatt family. Um, yes, it will be interesting. Obviously, there are talks of Uncle Howdy going back after Bobby Lashley too. Um, Personally, I don't think that would be a good choice because that was more of Bray thing. Because if you remember the talks before Bray got ill, was that um Bobby Lashley and Bray were feuding, And then there was talks that we was going to get Uncle Howdy versus Bray at WrestleMania instead of Bobby Lashley versus Bray at WrestleMania. There's all talks of this. Yeah, it's interesting. There are talks as well of Joe Gacy or Huskers the Pig going after Ava, the NXT manager, as well. Um, and Dexter Loomis going after Johnny Gargano, which I think will be interesting because let's say that DIY win the tag team championships, and then uh, we could have Dexter Loomis and Joe Gacy going after DIY. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Um, and then I don't think there will be any going for championships just yet. Um, I think that will be later, maybe within 2025. Um, but it would be cool to see DIY versus Dexter Loomis and Joe Gacy. Uh, and it is also rumored that the White Six aren't going to be a part of every show, which is probably the correct choice because even though we love them, we don't want too much of them because I don't think it would work. Um, but I think we'll probably see them on Monday. Um, we got Chad Gable in a triple threat match for their spot on Money in the Bank. Um, Sank has to be said on Monday, and I think maybe what will probably I would say like to happen is that Chad Gable wins the triple threat match or loses the triple threat match, and then Otis and the Alpha Academy cost him, and Chad Gable starts beating down Otis or Tozawa, and then the White Sits come and lay out Gable. I think that would be interesting. I think that would be a good watch. Um, yeah, I the thing is, whoever wrote this, Taylor, Triple H, the both WWE creative, they have done an amazing job with this because we don't know what the hell is happening. All we saw was a massacre on Monday, and then it ends, and we have so many questions to ask and want answered. Who's the sixth member? You know, what's next? Who they going after? You know, but I feel like they're gonna go on this family thing. They're big on this family thing, so it would be interesting to see them go after people like Dom, Strowman, uh, Gunter, um, and who else was there? Carmelo Hayes. I feel like that would be interesting. I don't think any of them were there in the smoke, but it would definitely be interesting. Um, yeah, I I personally hope Alexa Bliss is coming back. Maybe SummerSlam. Um, but yeah, it all depends. I want Alexa Bliss back, but I feel like the Bray thing will be more interesting. Um, but yeah, it. Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows? It's again Triple H, Taylor, creative, whoever has wrote this has done an amazing job. It's kept us wanting more. It's gonna keep us watching because we want our questions to be answered. Um, so I guess we just have to keep watching. Watch out for little hints and keep watching each other's contents to learn new things. Yeah, that's what I think is gonna happen with the Wyatt Six and the sixth member. Yeah, thank you guys for watching.